Hey there clan, hey there people, hey there anyone watching this. My name is Derek Welsh, also known as Scotch Warrior 92 on YouTube, and welcome to my Patreon page, or Patreon video if you're a subscriber of mine. Firstly, let me tell you a little bit about myself for those who don't know. I've been a YouTube vlogger slash let's player slash bit of everything since 2009. Looking back at my old videos, oh god, I was bad. And I've been doing it on, I was doing it on and off for the first year or two, pretty much as just for shits and giggles, because I was like, hey, fuck it, everyone's doing it. And then I decided in 2011 to try and take it a bit more seriously and try and produce regular content, up to maybe 3 videos a week if I could. And I've been doing that successfully for the better part of 3 years now, back in 2011, so been a while. Through YouTube I have made some great friends, and I've built up a small but a loyal subscriber base. People who have been with me since day one, and also people who have been with me very recently. They all seem to enjoy my content, and I hope that you do. This video is basically me going to tell you about Patreon, why I'm using it, and also what you can get for doing so. Firstly, let me explain what Patreon is. Patreon, I've heard it pronounced both ways. Patreon is a site in which the content creators like myself can use to allow their subscribers, fan base, people who enjoy their content to support them with a monthly donation or a content creation, i.e. X amount of money per video or X amount of money per month, of a minimum of $1. That is what the minimum is. You can donate $1 to a person whose content you enjoy to help them continue to be able to create this content, because it's not, while this doesn't take a lot of time or a lot of money, it still takes time and money. And I wish I could for myself, I wish I could do this full time, but I can't. I'm a university student and also having to try and find work after a while, and I've been looking for work for the better part of, well, as long as I've been doing YouTube. And I just haven't had luck in that field, but YouTube has been something that I've enjoyed. Through YouTube I partnered with a network, and eventually I have made some contacts here or there, but that's what it is. And Patreon would be a way for people who enjoy my content to support it and allow it to continue going on. So the question is, why should you support me if that? And as is, some of my subscribers might not need a reason, but I will give a reason. I'm very passionate about what I do. I love video games. I've enjoyed video games for as long as I can remember, ever since way back to the N64 days. I didn't have an NES, so I'm not that old. I'm only 21. Oh, sorry, 22. I turned 22 recently. And I have always been a gamer. Always have been. I love RPGs, and if you watch any of my videos, you know I'm very passionate about what I do. I love RPGs especially. RPGs and story-driven games really are my cream of the crop. Especially the BioWare games. Oh, I love them. Except for Mass Effect 3, but that's a different subject. If you do recognise me in any way, you'll notice that I was most well known for my predictions of the Mass Effect series, and also my reaction to the Mass Effect ending, which I will not comment here. I'll still get asked about to this day. And why I think people should support me is as if you want to, and as if you enjoy my content. I'm not going to force you to do it. I'm not going to say you have to support me. My content will always be free. I will never charge a single penny for you to view my content. But if you think my content is good enough to support, then I would greatly appreciate it. And that's the type of thing I want to say there is, that's what it is. As it says, how Patreon works, I will reiterate, is that you can choose to donate how much you want. Minimum $1, which is 60 pence. And you can, that will be a monthly recurring payment that you would give to me to be able to continue to make my content. It doesn't cost me a lot to make this content. I do have some goals, including how much it would require me to be able to do this full time, and also how much it costs me to make this content, because eventually I'm going to run out of money. I don't have a lot, sadly. I'm not a billionaire. I wish. But that's what we do. It would be a monthly recurring payment, because I create multiple videos on a daily basis. I rarely edit my videos. It's always in one take at most. I do occasionally do let's plays also as well, and that's what your content, what your money that you would give me would go to. It would go to improving my equipment. It would go to paying licensing fees for editing software, Skype video call, and also materials and games as well, because gaming is an expensive habit. It would go towards games that I would share with you and give my opinions on it and reviews it, and if I felt like it, let's play it, or even stream it as well, because I do stream as well. That is what all the money would go to. And what would you get in return? I wish I could say, oh, you'll get this, you'll get that, you'll get free games. I wish I could give you something if for even donating $1. Sad thing is though, I don't. So all I can offer, and I hope this is enough for people, is a area on Patreon in which will be Patreon only. It means people who support me and myself will be able to discuss, talk about questions. You can ask me stuff, you can interact with me. I can get your feedback instantaneously from the Patreon page, and also you don't need to be Patreon to do that. I do read all the tweets I get, I read all my comments, I read all my messages that I get. But Patreon would be a nice way where you could interact and give your opinions on my content, and maybe even pitch a couple of ideas to me. What also I would also offer is once a month, my Patreons would join me on a stream, either for multiplayer gaming, primarily on PC because that's fairly simple and easy, but I do have console as well. I would need to get the multiplayer features, but that's but that's one thing they would do. You join me on stream, we play a couple of games together, whether it be PC games or console games, and you interact with me, you interact with the clan, and it's a nice little reward I can at least give you. The other thing that I may do, it will change monthly and depending on my situation. Multiplayer gaming, but the other thing that might happen once per month, one of the two, well, multiplayer gaming, or a monthly podcast in which I invite 3 Patreons on to come and discuss whatever, just talk, just general, talking about the channel themselves, what their interests, that kind of thing. And that will be that will go up on my channel as well for those who want to view it, but it will be a stream or a podcast, and also I'll do an occasional Google Hangout or an occasional Skype call with any Patreons who maybe something private, we don't know, we'll see how it goes. But the two main things are, you would get to play multiplayer games with me, you'd get priority, as is people who are not patrons can also play with me in multiplayer games, but you would get priority to join me for the video games, for multiplayer gaming, and priority for the podcast as well. You come on, we discuss things, talk about it for about an hour or two, and then we part ways, and then the following month I would invite other people on, depending on how many patrons I get. And yeah, that's what you would get. I know it's not much, but that doesn't mean it's the only thing you'll ever get. If this works out and I'm able to turn this into something, I will do my damnedest to get other things for you as well in the future. I give you my word on that. Now the other question is, why am I doing this? The simple reason is why I'm doing this is my subscribers asked. I want to turn this YouTube thing into something more. I would love to be able to do this as a full-time thing. Highly unlikely in this current day and age, especially with YouTube the way it's acting. But I give you my word that I'm not the type of person that begs for money or asks for money. I'm the type of person that very rarely accepts it. But I'm doing this because my subscribers asked. I pitched the idea of this. I did not set up a PayPal donation button. I did not set that up, but I didn't choose to set that up. I actually asked my subscribers and they volunteered and says, do it. And I did that. Patreon and Patreon is the same. My subscribers, I pitched the idea to them and they said yes. They said I should do it. And after talking with some of my friends and family, I decided I was going to do it. And here we are. Now let's move on to the last little thing, goals. As it says, minimum $1. That is all you have to give me. That's all you have to do to donate. Minimum of $1 would be any amount of money will help. $1 equates to roughly 60 pence in UK ones. Then wondering, $5 equals £3 something, but roughly £3 just to get that. But I'm only saying you only have to donate a minimum of $1. That's completely fine. I'm not going to ask for anything more than that. But what are the goals in which I could turn this into something more? Well, for everything that I use, including equipment, PC maintenance, good internet, and licenses, $200 a month would allow me to pay for every license and be able to make me not worry about that ever again. Doing $200 a month would allow me to be able to pay any license I can do, to do my stuff, improve my equipment, very basically, and also would allow me to get a game and also keep my internet going. The amount I would need to be able to turn this YouTube thing into a full-time gig is £1,500, which equates to roughly $2,500, $2,500. If I ever achieved that, I would be able to turn this YouTube thing into a full-time gig and not have to worry about it and be able to do it as my full-time gig. I highly doubt I will ever achieve that, but it is there, just as a little stretch goal, a little dream, shall we say. This video's got longer than I planned, but I wanted to make sure I wanted to give everything. I don't like editing my stuff. I prefer to be honest, and that's what it is. So, if you want to be able to, if you would like to support me in any way, shape or form for my content, that is completely up to you. I would greatly appreciate any kind of donation. And yeah, I think that's where I'll end this video. I greatly appreciate taking the time. You took the time to watch this. I do apologise, it is rather long. I hope you enjoyed it, and I greatly appreciate any support that comes my way. And here's to the future, and I hope to interact with you all soon. Thank you for watching. I'm Scottish Warrior 82, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao for now.